So, what if the most powerful man in the world wrote a secret diary? I mean, not for you, not for history, but literally just for himself. And what if, 2,000 years later, that private journal somehow became a global bestseller? Well, today, we're going to crack open the secrets of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations.
It's a really good question, right? Kind of wild when you think about it. This ancient diary has seen this huge spike in popularity, especially when the world feels, chaotic. So what is it about the private thoughts of a Roman emperor that we find so useful today? Let's dive in and figure it out.
Okay, so here it is, the book itself, Meditations. But the funny thing is, Marcus Aurelius never actually called it that. He never ever intended for anyone else to read it. This was his personal playbook, his own private guide written for an audience of one. It's really just a lucky accident that it was found after he died and saved for all of us.
And the original Greek title, well, it tells you everything you need to know. Ta is heaton. It literally translates to himself. That right there confirms this was not a book for public consumption. It was a collection of his own personal notes and mental exercises, a private toolkit for dealing with an incredibly tough life.
So, to really get this book, you have to understand the man who wrote it. And he's such a fascinating paradox. He wasn't just a philosopher thinking deep thoughts, he was an emperor, the philosopher emperor.
This timeline gives you a quick snapshot of his life. He was born into a big-deal Roman family and was basically groomed for power from a young age. But his time as emperor was anything but peaceful. Seriously, he spent most of it on the battlefield, dealing with constant war, betrayals, and even a massive plague. He literally died while on a military campaign, right at the cold, hard edge of the empire. And you have to wrap your head around the sheer scale of his power. This guy had absolute authority over an empire that stretched from Britain all the way to Egypt. Every single decision he made affected millions of people. Can you even imagine the pressure on his shoulders every single day?
And that's the thing. In the face of all that massive external pressure, he turned inward. This book was his private sanctuary. He wasn't using it to figure out how to command his armies. He was using it to figure out how to command himself, how to find some scrap of calm and purpose right in the middle of all that chaos.
So, what was his secret sauce? Well, he relied on a philosophy called Stoicism, and I love this way of thinking about it. It's like an operating system for your mind, one that's specifically designed to make you resilient and clear-headed.
Now, at the very heart of Stoicism is this idea of logos. The Stoics believed the universe wasn't just random chaos. Instead, they saw it as this perfectly ordered system, all of it guided by a universal, divine reason, the logos. For them, everything from a planet's orbit to a really bad day was part of this huge, interconnected, and ultimately rational plan. Marcus took this idea and used it to do this really powerful mental flip. He wrote that the universe is like one single great city, and we're all citizens of it. And if you can get yourself into that mindset, then whatever happens isn't just happening to you, it's happening for the good of the entire city, and you're a vital part of that whole system.
All right, the next tool in the kit is the hegemonicon. It basically means your inner ruling principle. Think of it as the command center of your mind. It's not your thoughts or your feelings themselves, but it's the part of you that observes them and then chooses how to respond. And according to the Stoics, this little command center is the only thing in the entire universe that you have absolute control over.
And this is where it gets really powerful. Your entire character, your peace of mind, your whole identity, it's all shaped by the quality of the judgments your ruling principle makes. So if you can train it, you can stay stable and grounded no matter what life decides to throw at you. But Marcus didn't just invent all this stuff on his own. And I just find this part so amazing. The most powerful man in the known world saw himself as a student for his entire life. The very first book of Meditations is basically a gratitude list where he thanks every single person who taught him something important. I mean, just look at this list. He talks about learning serenity from his grandfather, generosity from his mother, how to not get bogged down in trivial stuff from his teacher Diognetus. He was actively, consciously building his own character piece by borrowing the best traits from the people he admired. It just shows this incredible level of humility. Okay, so let's bring it all back. How does all this ancient philosophy actually connect to our lives today? Well, the reason this toolkit feels so relevant is pretty simple. The basic challenges of just being a human being haven't really changed one bit. This right here, this is the absolute heart of Stoic practice. It's a simple but totally life-changing exercise. Divide everything into two columns: Things you can control and things you can't. You can't control the news, the economy, or what other people think of you. But you have 100% control over your own judgments, your responses, and your inner character. The secret to peace is to stop worrying about the first column and focus all of your energy on that second one.
You know, Marcus faced constant war, political backstabbing, and a deadly pandemic. Our chaos just looks a little different. It's a 24/7 news cycle, economic anxiety, social media stress, but the fundamental struggle to find some inner peace, it's exactly the same. And that's why his solution to focus only on what you can control is just as powerful today as it was 2,000 years ago.
Ultimately, the real power of this book is that it's real. It wasn't written by some philosopher living in an ivory tower. It was written by a guy in the thick of it, just trying to get through the day. And really, it's an invitation for all of us to do the same thing. So I'll leave you with this question. If you were going to write a guide for yourself, your own meditations, what would be the very first rule you'd write down?